Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in today and sharing this time with me. Whether you're watching the YouTube video or listening to the podcast, please stay tuned for future episodes. Do not forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining me today. Today I'm just going to jump right in. Because I do have a few things to do, so I won't be able to talk as long. But you are tuned into DriveChats today if you are watching the podcast or the YouTube video. And I am hands-free. So if I'm not looking at the screen, it's because I am driving and it needs my attention. But I have some things that I like to talk about today that have to do with the scale and non-scale victories and creating like a positive from a negative, and I've talked about this before, how important positivity is, but it is super important to focus on non-scale victories. So yesterday I've been really sleep deprived the last 2 days, and I've talked about that in my Instagram stories a lot. My almost 6-month-old has been up a lot in the middle of the night nursing, and so I've not had like quality sleep, and unfortunately that affects my nutrition, and I've been aware of this, but I think the lesson in the last few days is that I really need to stay focused when that happens on craving the results rather than craving these foods. But that being said, last night we went out to eat. My grandmother's visiting, and instead of choosing the healthiest options all day yesterday, I was really hungry, especially for carbohydrates, which should have been my first clue that it was due to sleep hunger or sleep deprived hunger, rather than really being actually hungry. So what I did is when I went out to eat, I usually don't eat carbohydrates for dinner, just a personal choice for me. I don't find that I usually need them in the evenings, and I find I sleep better when I do not have them. So instead of going with my normal routine, I had some shredded hash browns with my omelet and my turkey bacon, and so what usually happens when I have things like white potatoes, white bread, things like that, for me personally, it makes me crave more carbs. So then I went home. Everybody had ice cream at dinner, but I had some of the Halo Top, which is lower carbohydrates, less sugars, at home. So instead of getting something there, I was, told myself, you fully enjoy the Halo Top, you won't feel guilty, you won't feel anxious around it. So I had the Halo Top. I ate the whole thing, which normally I don't, which was another sign of, really just not being hungry, but having that sleep deprivation hunger. And then in the middle of the night, I got up, and because I had all of these carbs and sugars and things like that, I ate. My husband is a pastry chef, which is very dangerous when you are trying to clean up your nutrition. And I ended up in the middle of the night at like midnight eating 2 shortbread cookies that he had brought home. So today I was really, to be honest, dreading just not wanting to step on the scale, really thinking, oh great, I am going to be up today. But then I kind of repurposed myself and said, okay, even if you're up today, I created a worst case scenario in my head. Okay, this is the highest number that you're gonna be up to today. And when I stepped on the scale, I was really surprised because I was down from yesterday, which I wasn't expecting, and so that was like awesome for me. But it really had more to do with the fact that I was able to reprogram my mind and rephrase that in my head. And then I tried a pair of boots on that I haven't tried on since I was 200 and some pounds, and the boots have like a huge gap in them. They're like high rise boots, and they have a big gap in them, like a three-ish finger gap. So that was a huge non-scale victory for me. So it's really important when it comes to the scale, to go ahead and weigh in on those days that you think it's going to be up, and then if it is up, then go through and say, okay, these are lessons. Next time I will be more aware of the fact that I didn't sleep much. Then I'll know to read the signs that it's sleep deprivation hunger, and sense hunger being around it, and then I can still learn from it. It's a lesson. It's not I didn't mess up, I didn't fail. It was still a success in my book, and I was really surprised, really happy, and I just wanted to share that moment with you guys. And when you have those moments, to just go ahead and step on the scale, go through the worst case scenario before you do. And it can really help you reprogram those moments. So I'm going to hop off here. Thank you so much for joining today. This is going to be posted to my podcast channel and to my YouTube channel. So stay tuned, and thanks so much for sharing this time. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you guys very soon. So much for tuning in today and sharing this time with me. Please stay tuned for future episodes and check out my podcast.